Okay.
Yes, I'm okay. I might address a couple of the case arguments, just a couple specific ones, and I'll just kind of yell at you to do that. But
Okay.
to start the topic,
I mean, okay. So they're really technical. So, are you saying like you just gonna be on the page, you just gonna make a reference to some of the stuff? Or
yeah, I'm just gonna reference some case arguments. I'm not really gonna be addressing a case on my line.
Okay, that makes sense. Is there a long book?
Yeah. There wasn't gonna be anything I gave in now. I'm trying so hard to put it. Is anyone not ready? The affirmative is unable to accomplish the production and the invention and the reinvention of a Frankenstein body-like body, of transplant the body, of transforming false question, normal aggression, general and racial lines, and taking the supremacy notions of sex intersecting, when able manipulation is psychic, objection to competition, they call, proceeding the monsters of the world, like unique sacrifices, these are racial undoing of this reality. Their genealogy, national appropriation, the district of the kind of society, but it does not do so. Does not do very much. The question there, which this sex is reifies, it's on the cross history and indeed enacts white supremacy as a primary modality of his violence. That's what this filler means, right? So how the middle class is characterized by the ungendering of the captive flesh, which included several transferring. For example, there were individuals who were captive from the Caribbean to identify as was a category of individuals pre-colonial Latin America who existed as what the word means to become woman, which is a unique gender category that was undone during the experience of the middle class, but nonetheless was not done to black bodies. The reason why they're focused on anti-blackness as productive of this violence is a valid starting point for trans women of color specifically because it ignores the ways in which history of slavery acted across the entire Atlantic region to produce a system. Additionally, Striker 6 has the following to write about my non-vaginal trans pussy. Striker 2006. Everything is fucked up beyond all recognition. This hurts too much to go on. I came today as close to ever coming being birthed literally. My body cannot do that. I can't even blink another breathe yet. I claim to be a woman. How? Why have I always felt that way? I'm such a body. I can never be a woman like other women, but I can never be a man because there really is no place for me in all creation. I'm so tired of the ceaseless movement. I do war with nature. I am alienated from being. I am the self-mutilated deformity, a pervert, a mutant trapped in this monster. Flesh God, I never want to be trapped again. I have destroyed myself and I am falling in the darkness and I am falling apart. I am in the realm of my dreams and here I am underwater. But swimming upwards, it's dark, but I see the shimmering light above me and I break through the plate of the water's surface. My lungs bursting. I suck for air, but I find only more water. My lungs are full of water inside and out. I am surrounded by it. Why am I not dead? There is no difference between me and what I am. There's another surface above me and I swim frantically towards it. I see a shimmering light. I break the plate of the water's surface over and over and over again. This water, however, annihilates me. I cannot be and yet an excruciating impossibility. I am. I will do anything to not be here. I will swim forever. I will die for eternity. I will learn to breathe water. No, I will become the water. If I cannot change my situation, then I will change myself in this act of magical transformation. I recognize myself again. I am groundless and boundless movement. I am a furious flow. I am one with the darkness and the wet, and I am enraged. Here at last, the chaos I held at bay. Here is my last strength. I am not the water. I am the wave. And rage is the force that moves me. Rage gives me back my body as its own fluid medium. Rage punches a hole in the water around which I coalesce while the flows come through me. Rage constitutes me in my primal form. It throws my head back and pulls my lips over my teeth. It opens my throat and rears my head. It rears me up to howl. And no sound dilutes the pure quality of my rage. No sound exists in this place without language. My rage is a silent raving. Rage throws me back at last into this mundane reality, into this transfigured flesh that aligns me with the power of my being. And in birthing my rage has rebirthed me. The one he spoke on vaginal appropriation is an account where gender is tethered to sex and which in terms of captivity within gender norms reifies the actual modality of medical and genital erasure that is the epistemological bedrock of sex and students Striker Horizon 06. Transsexual bodies and unnatural bodies in medicine science is technological construction is flesh torn apart from together again in the shape of that which is born. I am too unperceived flexible images that means my embodiment. My is linked with humanity community fuels a deep and abiding rage, and even I guard against conditions of in which I must struggle to exist. Janice Raymond says the problem of transsexuality can be best served by morally mandating the out of existence be gone by our insight, or rather say that I may tranquilly conduct your approach with your creation. Their focus on sexuality reproduces this motivation when they continue to conflate black women and black vagina in the one I see, and then give them a descriptive account. They don't give you any way that they can explain the experience of a black trans woman or a trans woman of color who might not have a vagina, might not identify with a vagina, because the word vagina is itself triggering for many trans women, because people only ever have a fake vagina made out of testicles. That's how sexually assigned surgery works, which is in turn what they being the medicine system tells us is the fate of our existence, right? Our emotional disorder confines us to this infinite longing for a vagina that is itself the way by which the sexism operates across history, which is the continued definition of vagina and woman. And I'm not saying that they themselves actively perform this, rather than which they describe self-society is not a description that is good for trans women, because it's a description that enacts the sexism, even if only unintentionally, as before in a church than one I see, that will be best resolved by gender self-determination and prove that Perm can't solve it also will be more, but that Perm can't solve if their description of civil society is one that is bad from the perspective of trans women. And this is why we are saying that you should orient your critique of civil society through the perspective of trans women of color, so that you can overcome this history of, quote, vaginal appropriation, which the way that they articulate it is also problematic. Additionally, their focus on sexuality and mystification of sex predicts and cis-sex economy regulation, whereby the bodily difference between cis and trans people are rebounded into the psychology of trans women, suturing the contradiction of gender and embracing anti-trans violence, Sullivan and 10. The trans woman presented them with adult and directed the whole person not even the orientation because of her gender presentation. There was sexual activity, and that expression of activity was the presentation of her gender. The confusion of sexual and gender identity is the same assumption of gender. Transgression both conceals her doesn't make out sexual conjecture, something that is perceived to be bad, and the transgression and violence is both floating and widespread, though it doesn't cycling through representation of violence that is characters are trans, and the punishments and active repeated are visited of characters who are transgressing gender norms rather than sexual ones, parsing gender from sex from sexuality in this way is obviously a fraught enterprise, and I do not wish to exaggerate the goal. Gender and sexuality are inevitably bound, but this does not mean that they are the same thing, and the assertion of their fungibility has dire consequences for trans people, and I don't think the affirmative intends to assert the fungibility of sex, sexuality, and gender. However, they perform their answers to our arguments. For example, they say that the one AC is always gender self-determination, so they don't understand me. I think that argument ignores the way in which their presentation is indeed violent towards trans women, or at least the one trans woman who's in this room at least saying they're out as a trans woman so far. So I think that's a pretty compelling link as to how their genealogy reproduces this set understanding. Additionally, on the alternative, they gender determination is a radical method of opposing the nation's statement of democracy. They say that they're already that, and scaling they don't understand because there's not a link to it, because it's only a Hegel, but that's not true. He's quoting Franz Fanon's critique of Hegel in order to make an argument of the nature of queer and gender society. There, a choice to not address this link is why the alternative is better off. They've conceded that there is a foundational structure of modernity that is based on the eradication of queer and trans bodies, as well as bodies of color, and that those two violence work in tandem. It does not make sense to account for the middle passage without accounting for the cis-sexist nature of that ungendering that was imposed upon the black captives. So I don't think that their dismissal of Stanley is very good here, because it ignores the ways in which modernity is created through multiple co-constitutive antagonisms. They say that blackness on case is the structural side of fungibility, but I think that argument ignores the unique violence done to trans women, and probably undercuts their arguments about how they are able to address that violence, because they talk about misgendering done to black women, about trans women. However, that ignores the ways in which those black trans women will still experience a sort of cis-sexism that is intersected with, but different from, white supremacy that is faced by non-trans black people. So I don't think their argument is really able to cover these specificities in Slide 8 from the 1 and C, as well as the 8 indicated this failure to be intersectional is a uniquely bad method, because it guarantees that trans women of color and black trans women will never aspire to positions of leadership or whatever movement they want to aspire. They're just affirming the prostitute. That doesn't do anything for the people who are, one, desexualizing the status quo, aka trans people, and who, two, are still relegated to the side of the prostitute, e.g. all trans women. There's cross-dressing associated with sexuality, even though we are presenting gender, not presenting sexually. So their description is not one that can solve for that sort of presentation. They say trans stuff is a contingent violence. I'm not factoring that with the alt. The interest in anti-trans violence and contingent violence is one that I would like to checking is going to be on top of your schoolers' rights, down to the possible rights, and vision, test, but that vision is self-intended by history of medicine, science, religion, and systems of knowledge. They are unable to account for the area presenting you an account of prostitution coming out of the history of white supremacy and middle class that is unable to look to the ways in which they were nascent, free, middle class medical histories that already tended toward the destruction of trans people. Additionally, we are best able to resist violence and misogyny and the eradication of trans people through our presentation of polyvocal history. We open up history to contestation, therefore closes it because their history of vaginal appropriation ignores trans people. This is done before. So they're being inclined to diagnose the trans function general systems as a in response to that. They are simply conforming to their full of the precursor to something not going to be an academic disability, by health, finding the body, right, all the body are wrong identity, different parts of the development, physical identity, or not but as the department presented, that is what's called the final vertical because the totally what I say we're talking about is pluralization, market civilization.
Okay. Sex and gender are different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the 2HC said that understanding how Black women understand their sexual performances and the way that their bodies are sexualized is important to understanding how they perform gender. I guess, why is this?
I guess I'm objecting to the account of performativity that you're offering here, because I think we just had different understandings of that
gender is
term.
not performative?
I don't think that gender is merely performative, or else
I
how
don't
do you
think it's merely
explain?
performative. Is your argument that
Okay.
gender is not at all performative?
No, I would say gender is in part performative, but that cannot access the incorrigibility felt by trans people when they are misgendered and know that that is wrong and feel that wrongness with their body.
So I guess how does the 1AC ignore or paper over or disavow or create no room to discuss the misgendering that happens in trans women's bodies?
I think that is the slippage between Black woman and Black vagina throughout the 1AC that I think we are objecting to, and I understand that you're trying to say that it's a descriptive account of civil
What does it
society.
mean to define gender or self-define gender?
It means that you assert your existence as somebody within a collective
If
community.
Black women-
People also assert
If
theirs.
some Black women exert their existence in means of having a vagina, what is the link to the app? You said that there are
The
other
link to
Black
the
women
app
who do
is
other
still your
shit. What is the
discourse.
link to why the
We are
app?
saying that gender self-determination is a good methodology, even if you win that you're affirmative and that's the type of gender self-determination. I think that you're winning offense to the kind of self-determination that you're proposing in your 1AC.
What's the offense to the kind of self-determination? Because I think we certainly need that part of the word. What is the offense to?
The offense is
app
the discourse that you construct, which we think your race is trans women. Even though you say it doesn't, we
What-
still believe that it does.
How? Explain. So James is talking specifically about the reproductive nature that happens post 1850s when the slave trade was disallowed. It does not. I already made this decision. It does not apply to the way that trans women's bodies are positive. Are you saying that we should obfuscate that part of the conversation?
No, I think that we should look to the ways in which that
So
conversation
the alternative
itself.
include the
Are you
discussion
going
of
to let me
reproductive
finish saying what I think?
Does
we
the
should do?
alternative, I'm trying to make sure the same thing. Does the alternative include part of the discussion about reproductivity?
The alternative gender self-determination can include discussions of reproductivity.
And what is
That's
your
not-
offense you just said to the James
Our
Act?
offense is that when the way that you write your history, it starts at a certain point, it does not look to the sexist tendencies that already made it such that the middle passage was guaranteed to ungender captives.
So we didn't assume gender in our analysis of the middle passage.
I mean, you assumed gender, we don't think that you assumed the gender of trans people. You talk about trans people, but you don't talk about the unique history of trans people.
Okay. Sorry, we have 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
What part of the 1AC was I supposed to take out to do that?
Well, it would require putting a whole lot of new things into the 1AC, but
So what did
also
we take out of the 1AC?
the slippage between Black women and Black vaginas, which occurs in multiple points throughout.
You ready, people? Yeah. You still stay right down there?
Hmm?
You said you're gonna stay right there.
No, he's just gonna send it.
Oh, sorry. My bad. So, I don't know if this matters to everybody. I don't think we ever went to the page, so.
I didn't know that.
It was more of like a mess than I thought it was gonna be.
But I understand it was a mess. I was just saying I never got it on the original page.
I was like caught up in my own thing.
And you was doing your thing. Yeah, that's fine. I got it all. I got it all.
I saw you writing stuff down. It's like it's got somewhere.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
permutation. We are problematizing the ontological process of the way your J's and it cannot be affirmed in a trans-inclusive policy. There are a couple ways we are keeping the U clause that we highlight in the mechanism by which the ontological process is not necessarily ontologically bound to the process. Your J isolates virtually the black vagina is not is precisely the trans way by which trans women who are prostitutes of body experiences of being a prostitute are not bound to the ontology that you call it, your ontology necessarily a reason why the affirmation, your advocacy statement, the affirmation of a prostitute as beholden to the ontology what it means to be a prostitute, one that cannot cover the specificity of prostitutes of color, i.e. the experiences of those people who do not have vaginas. Second, when you're consistent, you don't have defensibility. This one has changed since you swing away in a way to be responsive to our critique. Yes, you predict our argument, that is fine and well, but our problem is the way you predict our argument by using the black vaginas is precisely the same sort of discursive shit that we are following. That's not the way we're critiquing we have all the discursive practice. Secondly, it is a problemization of the ontology, or i.e., your advocacy statement is that even if you're correct, you have some particular names, stories, the advocacy statement you have mutually exclusive. We have to understand that there's also when you have to you cannot access the industrial goal. I understand that is not your point. That's precisely the point. Material forms of violence described on transmutal color. That is precisely the way in which graphic materiality of the body that have on to do in a very physical way. The last one that we make the answer also is your James that literally says not read that he's talking about being lesbian and transvestites. That is the way by which the assumptive quality of your often which is positing and ontology bounded by quality is one that is not necessarily trans. I don't understand what it is. I think that I've done enough to build on communication.
Yes.
Two ways of the world comes from we are a public Canadian beings. Also liberate you. Your method of working is not necessarily on gravity. The way that you become the trans and multiple bodies who are imprisoned in the that non-goals precisely. That's why it's not a good form of liberation. That's also also you do not need your own battle, also an offensive turn and finally the argument process of the QEC. There is an argument that the method is a method made for bodies who are positioned as deviant. We think that while this is true, and sometimes it's not true at all, but it's only true for particular kinds of bodies in the market. This is the precisely access to sort of deviancy to say a market is deviant by different structures than the ones that you articulate way. The way you see is necessarily grapple with the way that the body's are positioned. You can't kind of grapple with the same methodological process you are articulate. That's why the communication is
move up to on before we can more important minutes, not there's a black Stanley and election.
What if it feels good to me? What if it feels good to formulate a homo? Dirty factors gave the world but and you're my death and waiting. What is it possible? Non-friction. And queer people such as body, none of the psychology that important possibilities that how the things what is here, the necessary how for these some of the second reasons that there's also the middle there's a middle the way that I articulated the statement means that there are little middle funky that all is and what I see is a necessary and the little funky that produce for queer trans people because they'll call it is this distancing argument that the idea there is no such thing as a queer as a black queer word that's precisely the form like this and structures and heights and violence between 13 black by mainstream to bring this work like the men, it's like woman police officers in America can't be trained criticism. One was not allowed to distract someone who's entirely black. A black person watches the assault.
Assault.
Yeah, assault. Right.
We're only gonna take up 45 seconds or so.
Where's the rest?
Okay, it's here. 45 seconds. Connection between blackness and sexual and sexual fantasies is important for the is that some other trends in the body is really fucking unhealthy. Yes, that. 5:33. You saw the shot down there.
Okay, that'll be the case when I go to sit down. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
You want me to sort?
No.
Okay.
Our rule about is to prosecute, they're conceding, they're conflating prosecution with prosecutor. You conceded, I mean, they conceded our rules on evidence indicates that the black one has been marked out as a prosecutor as a body, and other people are related and equated to that body as a source of deviance. When they say that other people are affected by prosecution in different ways, our argument is yes, prostitution as a form of sex work has relegated certain bodies to certain social positions, but our argument is that those positions are all marked across the deviance that is the black body in the structural position of the prosecutor. AKA, we know that non-normative sexuality is not okay because we define what sexuality is, and blackness is a negative standard for that form of coherence. AKA, every time they say that another trans woman is affected by different forms of sexuality, yes, that's our fucking criticism. There is a structural position in which certain bodies are relegated differently. Our argument is a structural recovery for other arguments. They're also conceding free net benefits to the affirmative versus material. Personally, see that women can use prostitution as a way to create material gains within a space where they've been relegated away from the formal market into the informal market. Our NYC says that the list of eroticism allows us to eschew politics or respectability to engage in new forms of material. Next is a pledge argument that we need to create new signs and symbols outside of the ones given to us by civil society to create forms of self-love and self-meaning in our lives, refusal to internalize the tropes that civil society has placed upon us. And also the third is the community portion of the one where we indicate that young black women are told that they are not good enough and that they're never going to be good enough for civil society. And the pleasures and internal link to this argument is that we need to create new forms of community building that allow us to refuse to internalize the tropes of civil society placed upon bodies. They conceded that net benefit of embodiment being good, which is essentially switched to the top of 2AC indicates that we cannot reduce the embodied experience away from the lived experience, aka every time they say that every day I go through forms of violence. Our argument is yes, that form of violence also is embodied for black women. We need to understand the way that racialized, sexualized bodies engage in forms of histography. They've also conceded that the black women are the hinge point of fungibility for civil society, which is the extension of the Beasley and Bocci evidence that I just explained to you, that blackness is a negative standard for coherence. That means that other bodies get relegated to certain forms of incoherence placed off the paradigm of blackness as the prostitute, aka deviance. The aspects of question of sequencing, politics, respectability, foreclosed discussion, and sexuality and advancement in blackness, sexuality, excessive oppressive affirmation of the prostitute as a prerequisite to the inclusion of transform and holocaust term at all 13. The framework of all self-fulfilling language, talking about pleasure, meaning, sex, sexuality, outside of single historical, patriarchal lines. We are also looking at the next society to a higher group of structures to shape our sexual selves, respectively, politics, respectively, strategies, surveillance, control, repression directly towards black women. Its political themes are largely independent. Ultimately succeeds in reinstating the systems of power like men whose bodies have always historically been excessive on extreme desires and narrative success. But all achieve seriously and limited how black women's bodies are intelligible within popular cultural academic discourse, which represent women following that as ladies and queens and pictures of worse accounting, present politics, respectability, potential to reify heteronormative institutions, and of queer, British bodies of color, and once they can be modified, persistent investment politics, respectability, first to mitigate the radical potential of these queer working instances. Arguments not that we do not conflate gender and sexuality. Rather, we need a descriptive claim of the way that history has marked black women since the transatlantic slave trade, because we think the transatlantic slave trade represents a moment of pure gratuitous violence in which black bodies were alienated, namely alienated or reduced to flesh, which allows for civil society to operate in the way that it does towards other bodies, aka other trans women that exist in the status quo. Root cause argument is not a fucking link argument. It never has been. The idea that there was differences in sexuality before the middle passage doesn't answer the approximate cause of the way that the politics of respectability operates to mitigate certain bodies. The link isn't a fucking link, it's a link to the status quo. Our argument is not that vagina needs to be black women, but rather civil society places vagina to be black women ever since the middle passage, because we need black women to reproduce for civil society to maintain its coherence. Our argument is not that there was not sexual exploitation before the middle passage, rather that blackness became racialized sexuality, aka there was a difference in the ontological rip of the middle passage that translates into current modes of discussion, which is the reason why the permutation solves, because their only answers to the permutation are that as extension of this game is that I've already answered the conflation between prostitute and sexuality, and also the material violence, the way that material violence is articulated. Our argument is that material violence ignores the ontological position. It's a way of making themselves coherent to get the ballot, aka we do something pragmatic. Well, you do nothing. Also, the Bulletin 3. Prison abolition and social law. Housing production accumulation between partner social capital dependent on anti-political structure, keeping both the black body using on the antagonist formation, participate the private institutions, social law that under the U.S. and of the contradiction between the political demands of social movements, prison abolition, and psychological structure, contradicts, and political desire, positionality, applies activities, but all of those contradictions, unspoken desire, family, political institutions, society, practice, society, the production and anti-black politics, and the last percent, the service of the emancipation of black prisons. They will answer this in a really quick way. Getting out of prison doesn't change the ontological position of slaves, aka you still have the same police to understand when you get out of prison. All people do is ask how the fuck did all these black whores get makes of sexuality, it can get into prison. The reason why you're discriminated against is not because you're, fucking in prison, it's because you're free.
That's it. That's it, baby. You mind closing that door, Stephen?
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna go case, I'm gonna go critique, and I just returned to its own thing, so I'll just tell you what I'm going to deliver. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be case and then the critique. There will be a small review on the critique, and then I'll announce when I go into the print, and it'll be a bit on
Okay.
Anyone not ready? Okay.
The vast majority of the case arguments and certainly all their office assumes that they are winning their onslaught complaints, and I think that becomes very difficult for them in the 2 AC or in 1 AR. Either don't mention or don't answer. Stanley 11 and P. The liberal democracies constitute their modern structure, anti-queers, anti-blackness, white supremacy, and cis supremacy. When they concede their hypocrisy, they cannot access their arguments of black body inside of primary dereliction because they concede to the society enslaved and anti-blacks relying upon anti-queers and trans antagonism for enforcement, regulation, and creation. They have conceded, for example, the Spiller's argument about the middle passage being ungendering is because that middle passage also was relying on the captivity and the ungendering of those of the Caribbean prior to the introduction of Catholics into that area, which meant that those people who previously existed in defiance of white norms, gender, e.g. the Mucano, were eradicated because they pose a threat to those structures of white supremacy, and they were people who were self-determining their own gender identity hundreds of years ago. Our movement has been going on for a long time as a collective movement forged in opposition to the violence of society. I think that when they mischaracterize our argument and when they don't answer most of their pieces going to become irrelevant because they are wrong about the nature of ontology, the nature of reality, the nature of violence, and they are also a race of trans people, which is what the structure is. The structure of your race is trans people. The structure does violence of trans people. If their app reproduces that, and we want that is what causes, for example, the relegation of black womanhood to a side of hypersexualization that is also internalized in a way that is not desirable by those people, then we are winning that is the root cause claim. This is why root cause will become a link in this debate despite 1AR's contention. They say the rule about us within the process are we objectively our hospital system, which means that even if they win, that we should affirm the prosecutor. I think that we are doing a better job of that because we have presented an account of their own historiography where theirs is flawed. Their association between black women and the black vagina is one that occurs within a certain understanding of Western white supremacist notions of medicine and science. They're saying that they really distribute the status quo, and that is true. However, they have not made that clear. In their 1AC, they keep saying that they don't mean to do this. It's intention versus impact, right? What they actually said was a discursive slippage between black women and black vagina. I'm pretty sure that I even said black woman from a black vagina at one time in 1AC, which indicates the ways in which they're failing to foreground this descriptive claim where they're failing to foreground the experience of trans women of color, black trans women. they are never able to truly account for the unique side of dereliction experienced by those trans women of color and black trans women who are derelict not because they are black, but rather because they are trans or because they are black and trans, right? It's not merely anti-black extending across society, but that rather occurs within the structure of what did I say? Blackness, anti-blackness defines itself against the black body. That black body is the site of deviance, which is used then to measure other bodies. However, you can see this is simply not true. When you are reading Stanley, which indicates the ways in which queer and trans people face that violence, or I guess I'll contextualize like this, right? They say that there is a structure, that certain bodies are positioned in that structure in a certain way, that they're really describing that. They are saying that bodies are positioned in that structure in ways differently than what the affirmative thinks, and their understanding of the structure, so that they were able to affirm the prostitute, because if you're a prostitute has violence done to them because of this structure of anti-queerness and cis supremacy, then that means they're not going to be able to resolve it. Stanley is actually quite good on this. I also read the one, and on the Communication Club indicates that.
You read Stanley Overkill, yeah? See.
Yeah, the part that also in the one indicates a dirty faggot. That they use the line dirty faggot is an answer to this because it indicates that the queer body's position as always vulnerable to violence. It is a site whereby not only sexuality but gender within the white supremacist mind frame are reified. And they don't discuss that at all in their argument. They realize that the black queers that exist, right? They conceded out in the money Alice's answer indicating that is itself erasive. Stanley is saying that that characterization is one that is flawed because it ignores the ways in which the black queer body participates in the structure of the biblical economy of heterosexist violence, and that is why they are positioned such as they are based onto the critique proper, I guess. They say that they read this closing like saying that prison abolition will never solve. You're not really stopping at prison abolition, right? You're using gender discrimination as a means to abolish the prison industrial complex, as a means to challenge gender norms that are present in the YC, as a means to affirm the prostitute in a way that does not erase the possibility of a prostitute who is a woman who doesn't have a vagina. And I think they have conceded the 1AR. Additionally, the office that made the 1AR team, even if it's really a descriptive claim, when they don't flag that as merely a descriptive claim in their actual text, that discourse is triggering for trans women who has important things to indicates our both position as always desperately in need of a vagina, but also impossibly held away from a vagina, which puts us in a position of non-existence, asubjectivity, right? We don't have personhood. We are pulled in opposing and impossible direction to satisfy at all times. They have not answered these ontological things, which means that we are winning, that even if they win, that affirming the prostitute is good, their methodology is impossible to do that. They say that the slave trade led to natal alienation, that wasn't possible. However, they say that humans who resist a totalized understanding of womanhood and vagina, that they are reproducing unintentionally in their 1AC. I'm not convinced that they did a good enough job in that 1AC to make it clear that that was a descriptive claim, and I think that you should give us some leeway here because the 1AC text is what we were objecting to, and I don't think cross-examination clarified this because they were unclear what the nature of that relationship is. They just were saying that there is a distinction that did not become clear until later. Additionally, the root cause is not a link. However, additionally, when your 1AC presents a certain historiography of vaginal appropriation, that we are saying is a historiography that embraces the experiences of trans women who were alive during that entire period, right? For example, the Carlotta, who was surprisingly absent from the 1AR's responses, but I spent some time in the 2NC, indicate that that is the manner by which the Middle Passage sutured itself and managed to accomplish the engendering of African captives that led to the slave trade. That is the formation of the birth of civil society. They cannot pretend like anti-blackness is the fulcrum here, because we have one that it is not the fulcrum here, because if it is also subtended by sexism, that means there are either multiple fulcrums or multiple antagonists, in which case you should reject their ontology because it would reject the violence done to the trans body. And I think that we are able to account for that through gender self-determination. If we are winning, that there is an unintentional discursive slippage in the 1AC. That is not gender self-determination because they are determining the genders of other people when they present the historiography as violent. I think that we have enough defense here to get out of the links, and I think that we've turned the case enough times to win.
That's you.
I think I'll go to the bathroom. I don't think it's good.
Anyway.
I don't think he didn't tell me it was gonna be anything that would be very long. I think maybe like 20 seconds, something like that.
Can I just pull up another computer? So I just feel like this is a chair. Case and tray. It'll be obvious where I searched it. The role of the balance whoever creates best methodology deliberates process one. It's the alternative of the process of gender self-determination does not criminalize the when it sees analysis of sexuality. There is no slippage between sexuality and gender, but rather they focus on black sexuality is important. Sequencing arguments material needs, and they have conceded a unique surrounding of black women are more marginalized in the formal labor economy, which means dysfunction tried and not the affirmative to create some kind of material that will spill over to our families, so they've all not also the piece of young evidence, the piece of young evidence assistance to a question of pleasure, which is I think an internal impact of the process of self-definition of gender. It's a question of how we understand our bodies and repudiate the types of tropes that demonize us as dirty teachers and deviant, which is what the Lausanne ethics is talking about, the monstrous body, which is the queer body. Now there is a question of the beauty and community strategy, the one you see, the performance of the negative direction cannot access strategies of building a community because they engage in the policies respectively in the cross-examination, retelling the civil value, articulation of the body that are affirming the shapes only, trying to strong in or assume their arguments. All of these things are in context of a form of policing the rhetoric of the one you see. Now all of their arguments about how we've done our structural analysis of all are also reasons why it's never good enough. We cannot complete such a gender or fragments is why we have to focus on sexuality, sex selection, and sexual performance of black women. That's a stop. And Pocket, like obviously understood the different things of the offense he says that they're literally democracy is not primary about the dereliction of blackness. This is not even about the link argument about who calls argument. It's not a link argument, but that's the reason why our notion of the middle class is naked, including the way CI explains that there is knowledge loss, which is what the James Evans is talking about. There's linguistic and material economy of subjugation that even if our analysis of the middle class is incomplete, that does not mean it's not sufficient to solve the case impacts of top of the two arguments. Expression has existed for a long time because it's not an argument. It's supposed to be process. There was a unique form of racialized sexualized violence that we're talking about. The sexualized performance is not gender. They fall into the very trap of completion of gender that we do not assume gender in the middle passions. So what is these engaging in the process of how understanding the bodies of sexualized, which is the same for her analysis that look, we are arguing about the gender. Let's about mutilation, which is consistent. There are lots of people we do not mention in the ways here, do not describe in the cross-examination. I'm like, what do you take out? He said, we just add up shit we have not. Sorry, she. But she says that we should take out, which there's not even the time that we have a limited time. Now, look, yes, we think that there are different forms of oppression that exist before the middle class that have the ways blackness is structured. There were different problems to create the current attacks, but any patterns exist before anti-blackness. They're not reasons what the affirmative is necessarily problematic. Doesn't mean the reverse cause. The anti-blackness, the anti-black, anti-queerness, there's violence to harm across society. The reason why violence against queer bodies is contingent but not foundational. All of the conceded that black queer existence and links and Stanley evidence is not conceded. We see that there is a discussion happening here that we do not agree that the violence that happens with the queer body is ontological, but rather an object that it is positioned against the violence of deviance and criminality, which is what the Bhakti evidence is saying. The permutation resolves all of these arguments because the act is in that benefit. There's zero reason why a challenge to respectability policies allows things like material betterment and community only will resolve all of the worst parts of the affirmative with all the sexuality framing that challenges the public-private dividers for all of their impacts that they joined students talking about earlier in the debate about how there's a policing of clothing and dressing, policing of stylized performances and engaging with civil society. We repudiate that shit, which means we fall solve back the link arguments. That's how the permutation will work and function. That there is couple Spanish students alternative they don't compete versus the first the germ evidence. All of this analysis that they're not politics respectively. The germ evidence is very something that says any investment in the politics respectively reifies the whole shrinks to the line of their impacts happens. We have a risk of results, and it's also a question of sequencing, which is all about case analysis, and also the endless evidence that we read in the 2AC that is the sequencing arguments that we need to create levels for people with vaginas and women without them. There can be textures or distinction between those two on the reproductivity in Spanish. I spent a lot of time in cross-examination asking about whether or not you're picking out of the James Evans reproductivity. James Evans says that you have to focus on the part where black women become fungible objects versus
stand on your toes?
I want standing.
Can we have a one see that?
Okay, this is one of the picture.
You can just stand and see that.
I'll look around to see if anything's spoken to. I think that's all. he starts to queue, I think people back over his own.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's funny.
I was like, I think I'm in 7th grade again.
Yeah, no, I always went into like confusion with Dylan as well.
Oh, yeah.
Too much. That's funny.
Yeah, my mom, she's a school teacher, just goes by, well, I used to be Mrs. Q, but then it became Mom Q.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
And now I can just call her Mom Q.
I like that, that's funny.
Nothing wrong with people. I can go get Austin.
She's doing him.
I'm simmering, as we put it, simmering down, so now I know what's on. I do truly apologize for that.
I get it.
You make me nervous. I just want to make sure I get the confirmation email or whatever from there. Make sure I don't bother that or not. That's what I'm going to do. These battles. Oh, well, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, this is a good debate. Oh, sorry. This is a good debate. Interesting. I was going to ask, big problem, permutation, I get into it in 2NR.
Yeah.
That's one of the largest things. Given that, I also think they asked in a permutation. I'll probably still vote ask in this debate. This is primarily because I think that all of y'all at various times in the debate are simply bypassing the other person's offense, right? You, for instance, the negative has this really like cool like narrative thing going on throughout the 2NC. It's like 3 minutes of the 2NC that gets like no action from the 1AR. But again, it's kind of like just footnoted in the 2NR, right? Same with the app, they have like these 3 net benefits to the affirmative that are never really responded to you by you all. But in the 2AR a little bit, instead of going back over the 1, 2, 3, you kind of like put it all in paragraph form. I understand it's kind of like the 2AR form or whatever, but it would have been kind of helpful if you would just isolated those out. But given that, I also think that my decision is primarily based off of two things. One of which is kind of like the role of the ballot who best liberates the prosecutor. I'm just having a hard time figuring out there's this moment that happens. I don't know if it's the 2AC cross-sex or the 2NC cross-sex, which really sits with me. It's just like, okay, there's some women who do have vaginas. What do they do? Right. And I was waiting for you to explain when you were talking about the triggering argument about how, the erasure of queers means, as your evidence describes in the Stanley evidence, a state of non-existence, right? And that person would then exist outside society, which seemed to put you on the same playing field as the affirmative. But in the 2NR, that explanation of we are then outside of society, which allows us to speak to your creation of symbols and things of that nature. I think that you missed that portion of the 2NR.
Yeah.
And so their arguments about liberation of prostitute forces me to call into question what is the alternative as it exists in the 2NR to liberate not just trans women who don't have vaginas or fake ones, but also those who have real life vaginas. And so I find myself, like, it's hard for me to look at the ass and be like, well, they're right about this thing. I do think you have all the pieces that you need to win this debate. They're right about this, but I can't really explain to you all what they do about you. You see what I'm saying? Okay. The second thing is this kind of like, I don't know if it's a sequencing, uniqueness argument. It's really weird, but I think it's kind of clever. Their argument is that, especially for Black women, that it's important for them to understand how their sexual identity, or at least their sexual expressions, work to construct gender. And I thought that was the portion of the debate where you kind of allowed them to get a little bit ahead, because if that's the case, then your criticism seems to be misplaced in this debate, because especially if it's true that Black women have to focus on sex or sexuality first, then I'm not really sure what the link is to this particular argument, right? Not to say you don't have other pieces of offerings like the triggering argument and stuff like that, but it just top level stuff seems to fall apart at the very framing of the debate. Does that make sense, right? And so, given that the short end of what I'm saying is, I thought that the block, especially the 2NC, was a lot better at being a lot more concise on what it is the link argument was to the affirmative, and not, you were unwavering in the 2NC, and I really appreciated that, but I felt like in the 2NR, maybe it was a time issue, you felt a little bit rushed, but you gave them too much back, I felt like.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel you.
Yeah. Okay, so let me go through a couple of your arguments. First is this triggering argument. There's this cool new 2AR response about, like, there's no trigger for Blackness. I really wish that was earlier on in the debate. I didn't really consider that, but I think it's a damning argument. Damning argument. But even outside of that, like, what's the impact? You say that it leaves people, like, we know we can't ever get this vagina, but we always long for one. But what's the impact to that if you don't take me back to the Stanley evidence and talk about that state of non-existence, and how that individual could exist on the outside of society, and then speak about that positionality in context of how it would deal with Black women who do have vaginas. Does that make sense? Right. So I didn't think
you want more striker in the QAnon.
Yes. Right. I think the striker is your impact that allows you to do two things. One of which is garner the terms case argument, but it also helps you on the alternative level of the debate, the false case argument.
Yeah.
And so I felt like both of those places where I thought that you were really, really, really strong in the 2NC on fell apart, right? Because you were just like, the narrative didn't really get much airtime from the 1AR. Well, given that, it didn't get much airtime from the 2NR either, because you didn't take me back to the particular lines where she's talking about, like, I literally can't become the water. You know what I'm saying? I am the water, and how that, what that kind of, like, that morale of that story means in context of all solvency for this particular vertical. After that, I do think that you link to their arguments about the public-privatized dichotomy of that, because you don't understand what exists outside of the world. You only criticize what already exists within it. And given that, the root cause claim, I thought this was an interesting portion of the debate, and I do think that you went some risk to that. However, I'm not particularly persuaded. I agree with most pieces of this evidence that it's more of a root cause claim. I don't think that your evidence goes as far as to say that. I can kind of get why you was like, this should be an essential starting point for the conversation, but I'm not sure why that should be the starting point for women who don't have vaginas. I'm sorry, for women who do have vaginas. Yeah. Right. And so I thought that you had to do a little bit more there to. Maybe you just need to be like, having a real life vagina is a position of privilege. I know that's like a real tough road to drive down, but I mean, these debates are going to be tough. They're going to be messy, and so that's something that you're going to have to think about doing. But even if that's true, and you win some of these kind of like root cause start you should start your kind of arguments. I think that the net benefits that went into the F kind of outweigh that and solve it to some degree, because this argument about how Black women can use their sexual roles to gain material benefits,
Yeah.
it's really, really, you have to deal with that, right? Because, I mean, that's the F. That's the F, is that they can sell themselves in figurative, ontological, physical sense, no matter. That's kind of how I decided to debate. I thought it was going to take me a lot longer to decide this debate, especially after the block. I thought you were really fucking good in the 2 and C, but getting into an R, I didn't think it worked out for you. But some suggestions for you all. I thought that you need to deal with, I thought that the place where you missed the opportunity is when she's talking in the cross-section and she's like, yeah, you're right that our analysis, that the analysis of reproduction is not afforded to trans women, but still, right, you shouldn't have let the but still happen.
For sure, I should, okay.
Right, that's your link argument. It is not afforded to those individuals, which can mean that your app is like a self-informed politics that only seeks to research and stuff. Like you could have just stuck there. Right, and that's kind of the language of your striker evidence is like it's always that question of it's always not afforded to the trans body. So why should that be the type of policies that you promote or advance in this particular debate? And I thought that you should have made those kind of like role of the judge arguments a little bit more explicit. They were kind of implicit in the debate, but a little bit more explicit about what you thought I should prioritize and what you thought my role was. Because also making these arguments, it's just like, well, shit, the app might be good for us, even if it's not good for everybody. Right, and I think you have to circumvent that a little bit. Perm being into an R, I thought that the perm answer was also a little bit light. I thought that the permutation was going to be the new link, right? To kind of like slide in and out of trans identity, speak on behalf of them, but then we are them now, and then nobody knows. But also like the consumption of those narratives and of those stories that are presented in the 2 and C, and even kind of sub-mentioned in the 1 and C, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to assume that they weren't trans, if you get what I mean. And so I didn't know how to make that argument in a way that would still be offensive, that wouldn't have either position them as cis or trans.
I think that they have not said that we are not trans, but I do think that they have made some arguments about why we do have real vaginas.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. And I think that I can understand why you're hesitant to make that argument, but I think that you could pick up on other portions of the debate to protect yourself from seeming offensive in that particular moment, right? They're going to make their impact on arguments regardless. They're going to say everything that you said was fucked up and you should never tell Black women to do anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Simmer down, calm down. They're going to make those arguments. So you kind of got to know that going into the debate, and it's hard to be negative, but you have to be willing to, the strength of being negative is drawing those lines in the sand and being willing to take them up on those portions of the debate, especially when I think that they've given you access to some of those arguments. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. For you all, I thought that the 2AC pussy argument should have been in the 1AR. I thought that should have been the start of the 1AR because that totally rearranged that portion of the debate. As a matter of fact, it didn't get in the 1AR or the 2AR, which was what I thought that was really interesting because I thought that was the best answer you had in the 2AC, which seeks to prioritize your role. Not that you all are always going to claim that you're like have real vaginas, whatever the fuck that means. But like you get what I'm saying, right? I thought that would help to bolster that. I also thought the chocolate did a little bit better of like using your kind of anti-blackness kind of frame of the affirmative to indict the literature base in which they're reading from, which seeks to kind of mention people of color, but never really talk about Black people. Does that make sense? Right? And I'm a little light on that.
Yeah, and then on 1AR, I was going through a mixture of trying to do, I guess, both, which I totally see didn't really end up working out, but how could I have better been like, our argument is like, yes, there is a root cause, capitalism, and different forms of sexuality existed prior to the Middle Passage. Natal alienation created a new form of ontology. Your piece of Stanley Evans is talking about like fucking Fanon and his colonial subject. That's not discussing what we're saying at all.
Right.
And how could I better articulate that?
Maybe what I was envisioning was the start of the 1AR being like, sure, they might be right a little bit about some of these root cause claims, but we've made an argument about why the focus on the literal pussy is something that is extremely important and necessary in order for you to understand how the Black matrix happens and therefore how we can produce our own symbols and stuff like that. I thought you should have just added it to like the case overview as opposed to treating it like a 2AC number 7. Right, because that's, at least for me, that's how important I thought that argument was for you all in this debate, because I don't think that you all necessarily have the evidence to deal with some of the link claims that they're asserting. I think that you kind of have the spin to deal with it, but that argument seems to be spot on in regard to making sure that you forward your AF in this particular discussion, because, and this is another thing I was going to say, I think that y'all let them kind of upplay this queer argument in the face of a woman argument, right? And I understand why you're like, well, duh, that makes sense. But no, it doesn't make sense, because you all are talking about Black women and they're talking about trans identity kind of in the abstract. There's Stanley evidence, and a little bitty portion of it kind of talks about trans women of color and how they die at a disproportionate rate. But that does not assume women. It's just trans bodies. Because you can be MTF or FTM or somewhere comfortably between none of, but the positionality of the Black woman, which is what your James evidence is talking about, on point, right? And so similarly, I think that y'all shouldn't be hesitant to draw those lines in the sand. I thought that you all needed like slightly less no-link argument, slightly more impact term stuff, right? I thought the pussy argument would got you there. Also think you, for other judges, I think you need a better explanation of the functionality of the permutation, right? I think that what happens in the 1AR in this debate is you extended the permutation and you explained that there was no benefits to it, but you didn't explain to me, at least how the 2AR explained to me, what the permutation functions as, right? It was just kind of like present, still do both. Last thing I guess I'll kind of say is the whole, like, tell me to simmer down, mispronoun stuff. I kind of view that as a wash. I don't even know if that's fair to do that, but I didn't know how to navigate that since I felt like it was violations immediately on both sides. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so, if y'all want to deal with that on a, in a personal level, y'all can deal with that. But as far as me dealing with that, I choose not to. How about that? Yeah, but I mean, I just didn't know how to. Yeah. It's messy.
Makes sense.
Is there any other questions for me? I hope that was clear enough.
I need to kind of process the Stanley thing, but after I think about it for a minute, I might.
Mm-hmm. Like I said again, I thought the substance of the debate was phenomenal.
Right.
I just think that you all let some executional stuff get away from you. Didn't make the substance. The justice said it.
I don't know how this played into your business. It sounds like you were able to resolve it at a very top level. This Wilderson sequencing argument is an abolition bad starting point. How should we be addressing that argument?
I thought you were right.
Okay.
I thought you were right in terms of, I think that what was happening is that, okay, here's where the confusion happens, because I do think that you all were misleading in the cross-examination, because she asked you, it was just like, are you talking about prisons, like, literally niggas stuck behind behind bars or whatever, and you like, yeah, but you kind of back it up by, but we're doing it as a way of self-determination, which what you were saying was you think the world is a prison, right, for trans bodies, and that we need to dissect that. So they read an argument that was just like, just in case you were really about this like prison abolition shit, like for real, we're gonna read some arguments in regards to that. However, yeah, like you said, that debate was able to be resolved at the top level argument. So I think that in terms of that little portion of the debate, the Wilson portion, I side with you all on that question.
For sure. It was just phrased as sequencing, so I just wasn't sure how it's going to line up with things. I think other than that, it should be pretty clear.
I know you're sick and stuff, but you don't sound good. You just don't sound good. There's a lot of, you have this thing that when you don't know what to say, you like scream, you're like, and it's like, it's really distracting. And so, that was the thing I thought that could have been better. Also, the permutation answers, I felt like could have been a lot more offensive. You were just more so like, are links still apply? Maybe, kind of. And I would have been like, I'm so glad you heard us in this debate, because that's the new now. And I thought that you could have started with that particular permutation and just worked your way through all of that and created a lot more new offense and things of that nature.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.